Hey guys, Melissa here, going to go over the second session for learning Stand By Me. Now, if you haven't seen the first video, you're going to want to go back and watch that because I go through the entire song that I'll be helping you learn. And I went through how to work on the bass of the song or the left hand, and I gave some basics of how to find middle C, octaves, things of this nature. All right, so hopefully by this time, by the time you are watching this, you have that bass beat down. I'll go over it briefly again, and then I'm going to get into chords and what chords are based upon, because you will be doing some chords for the intro with your right hand. All right, here we go. So here was the bass beat again. All right, and that is, of course, what you want to practice over and over, as I said yesterday, until it just feels, like you can see it, dream it in your head. You've really assimilated it. All right, now the right hand will be playing a chord, and I am playing. You do not need the music, obviously. I, once again, am going for those people who maybe took piano lessons years ago, maybe when they were little, and they didn't keep it up. They weren't sure why, but I've heard various stories why. So from young and old, a lot of times it was just too rigid and overwhelming. So I'm not forcing people to read the music, but I am showing you that these notes are in staccato for those who do read music or remember some of their lessons. And that is why these chords will be a fast hit like this instead of a holding, okay? That right hand is going to be making this motion. All right, so once again, just so that you know, I am playing out of Stand By Me and other songs of the great rock era. Don't need the music. You could go and find your own music on the internet somewhere, but it will probably be arranged differently, could even be in a different key. But I'm going for, let's learn to play this, and then we can get into note reading later on if people want it. But I just want you playing. I want you sitting. I want you playing. I want you understanding the basics. We went over the scale yesterday and what an octave is with its 8 notes from, for instance, one C to another. So basically, to understand where these chords come from, chords are the first, third, and fifth note of the scale. So very quickly, I will go over C scale again. And if you need more information on that, go back to my first video. But you will put your digit 1 or thumb first digit, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on middle C. I show you how to find that yesterday. If you don't know how, go back and watch that video. At any rate, it is 1, 2, 3, thumb under, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically, each finger hitting whatever note they are lying on, whichever key, making sure that there's one finger on each key as they are lined up, and then you come back down, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Third finger over, 3, 2, 1. Yesterday, I also went over how to strengthen your fingers. So if you're not solid with that, you want to get solid with all of that before you go on and learn any more, because I want that bass down for the left hand before you learn your right hand. Okay, now, based on your scale, for C, that was C scale, so for a C chord, it's the first, third, fifth note of each scale that gives you your basic chord. So with that in mind, there's the chord. Then you can do an inversion of that chord, and it's very beautiful, just as if you were doing a math equation where you might, inside of those brackets, you might rearrange those numbers. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our thumb where our second note is with our third finger, and then we're going to put that finger or another finger, in this case I'm going to use my second finger, where our third note was, and then we're moving our C over to the end or the top, so that same notes arranged differently. And look how beautiful that is. Now that is called your first inversion. Now you can invert that further by using the same concept, moving your fingers around to where it's comfortable. So it might be different fingers, but same notes. Now putting that E on the top. And then if you do another inversion for going up the piano, you are back to basically square one, just at a higher octave, right? So there it is. It's so pretty. It's so beautiful. You can even do this with kids where you have them first find all of the C chords, you know, all over the piano, or just say, play a C chord anywhere, and you can explore with them at the piano together. That's a lot of fun. And then you can go with, you know, well, let's do all of the C chords and the first versions across the piano. So doing that kind of work strengthens everything. It strengthens the mind-body connection and just seeing it and playing it without having to do all of that arduous, what did they used to call it? The theory. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with theory. It's just that I've noticed for many of my students, whether young or older, that seems to cause them blockages at times. So my goal is to get people at the piano playing, and then maybe get into that later when they feel that they're ready for it, because you want them to be excited about playing, not feeling like, oh no, I have to trudge through all of this before I can actually play the piece. So no, just get your, you know, work on strengthening your fingers. You still have to practice. There's no substitute, but it can be fun. So, and it can be, you know, creative and expressive. So you can also, of course, do this with the kids or yourself to, you know, because you want to be able to recognize these very quickly at the piano, and do it slow at first. Do all of your inversions. And then do them all across the piano. You know, go slow and then speed up when you're ready, because everybody needs to go at their own pace, obviously. And once you're familiar in your right hand, when you want to do more work with your left hand, though not required for this particular song, then as it was with the scales, it's just the opposite with your left hand as far as your fingering, all right? First inversion, second inversion, back to that basic chord of the first, third, and fifth note of the scale, and that's all we're adhering to here. Also, we're just rearranging them in those inversions. So once you get that down, you can just go all across the piano and have your, you know, if you're working with your kids or someone, have them do that too. Okay, now those are block chords. Same chord inverted, but still block when you're hitting them all together. And though you don't need to read music, I will show you. Just, it's fun to look at. It's beautiful. The music is so pretty when it's all notated. But you've got it in your block form where they're all lined up just like a block or a stack. So they're all together like that and not played individually or loosely. Now, a broken chord is where you would pull them apart, and you could really play them in any arrangement you want to, but there's a broken chord. It could even be, okay, or, all right. But the most common is up or down. So you could do the same if you're doing exploration on the piano, and kids love doing exploration. It's one way to really get them involved in the piano, where you'll say, you know, just stay on C chord, just the basic C chord, but play it anywhere, and you can break it up and then tell them to come back down so that they're seeing it backwards in that same arrangement. And then you can get more creative and bring in your inversions and say, you can play any inversion you want anywhere on the piano. And one thing that I used to do is, for either my own girls or other students, is while they were playing maybe on this side of the piano and doing whatever they wanted with both of their hands, whatever they wanted, as long as they were on those keys, they could play them individually in block format, broken. I would just hit different notes basically within that same chord. I mean, you can also bring in notes of the scale, obviously, but generally I would keep them It's sort of like what I told you in that first lesson about taking your babies and toddlers and getting them used to just initially hitting those black keys because they all harmonize together. And that's something you can do with them. And then at times, you know, they're going to be like, no, and they, especially toddlers, they're like, go, I want to do this myself, and give them that space to do it. But they love, even as the older they get, they love for you to be doing it with them. It's a great thing to do. All right, enough of that part. Those are the fun things for exploration, creativity. Now, the reason those chords are important for this song is, though you won't be playing an exact C necessarily all the time, you are playing C in a form because, as you'll notice, that is one of the inversions of C. And that is the first chord in the introduction to Stand By Me that you will be playing with your right hand. So it goes like this. And remember, staccato, you don't hold it, you just hit it and come back up. Plus, it only gets a 1 beat, and I'm not going to do timing right now either. You will get that down for what you need for learning this song. So that's the first one. The next one is where you move your thumb to the A. And these two notes are the same. The C and the E remain the same, and you can hit them with the same fingers. It's very comfortable, see there? So you've got one of your inversions of C that I just taught you. You've got G, C, and E. Then you've got the A, C, and E. So just moving that thumb up. The next one, you're going to keep these two notes right here, the A and the C, but it's more comfortable if you put your second finger there so that your pinky or your fifth finger can reach your F, because that's the next chord. So see, very simple. All right, so you've got, then with A, now move your thumb to the B, second finger to that D, and, or you can keep your third finger there, because I can hit that very well. Okay, so, and then that is the last one. All right. So for that last one, you were here before. Now you just need to put your thumb on the B, lay your pinky on the D, and keep the F. All right. All right, so work on that until you get it down, then I'll come back and show you how to bring them together. You guys take care and have a great day.